Welcome to Object Oriented Programming course. In today's lecture, we will learn about operators in Java. Operators are special symbols that perform specific operations on one, two, or three operands and then return a result. So this is, this kind of special symbol. Here you can see z equal to x plus y. Here x and y are operands and this plus is nothing but the operator. So there can be operators which can process on single, double or triple operands. Operators are an operator is a token that tells the computer to perform certain mathematical or logical operations on variables and literals. In Java, there are 8 different types of operators: arithmetic operators, logical operators, unary operators, assignment operators, ternary operator, that is the one which accepts 3 operands, relational operators, bitwise operators, and shift operators. We will learn each of them in detail. Let us learn the arithmetic operators in Java. Like C programming, here also we are using 5 different symbols as the arithmetic operators, like plus is for addition, minus is for subtraction, star is for multiplication, this is division operator, then modulus operator, that is percentage symbol. So these are the 5 direct arithmetic operators. Then you can see plus plus, that is to perform the increment operation. That means plus 1. See, a plus plus is nothing but a equal to a plus 1. Means if a is 10, the result a plus plus will give you 11. Decrement is to decrement 1. Okay. A minus minus will give you when a is 9. A is 10, and if you perform a minus minus will give you 9. Then these are compound operators, means these operators are added with one assignment operator. Plus equal, that is assignment, addition assignment, minus equal subtraction assignment, star equal multiplication assignment, division equal division assignment, modulus equal modulus assignment. These are compound operators. See, here a plus equal 10 is nothing but a compound operator. That is same as that of a equal a plus 10. So imagine that a's value is 10. That then a plus equal 10 will give you 20. Reason is that that statement is nothing but a equal a plus 10. So you can use these compound operators only when the first operand and the target variable, both are same. When the first operand is same as that of the target variable. Here a equal a plus 10. Here this is your target variable and first operand is also the same variable. In that case you can go for the compound operator. Plus equal same say is an example of compound assignment operator, also known as shorthand assignment operator. It is called shorthand because it provides a way to assign expression to a variable. The operator can be used to connect arithmetic operator with an assignment operator. So it is a shorthand representation. See here a equal a plus 10. The shorthand representation for this is a plus equal 10. So effect is same. So that is all about compound operators. So along with all the 5 operator symbols, you can use assignment symbol. So there are 5 different arithmetic compound operators. The one operator which requires additional mentioning is modulus operator. That is to get the remainder. We said that in the means here we can see one example: a equal to 5, b equal to 2, c equal to a modulus b. What would be the result? 5 modulus 2 will give you remainder 1. So c is equal to 1. So here c will be 1. Let us see another example. In Java, modulus operator can be of any numeric value, whether it can be integer or fractional. In this example, you have double x and double y. x modulo y. Here result will be, see, it will be like 4.3 minus 3.3. So you will be getting result 1. So when you print this, the double representation you are getting points, then 15 nines 16. That is nothing but 1 only. It is represented in double format with a trivial error, means very negligible error. So result is 1. So the notable difference compared to the modulus operation in C, it was not applicable to fractional data types, but in Java you can apply the modulus division even with fractional values. Now let us study the increment and decrement operators. Okay, a plus plus is nothing but a equal to a plus 1. So for this you can have a shorthand representation like a plus equal to 1 or a plus 1. It is having the same effect. So a plus plus is nothing but a plus 1. A minus minus is nothing but a minus 1. Plus plus a is pre-increment. That means the addition symbol is coming first, then the operand. That is pre-increment. Change first, then use the value. If the addition or addition increment symbol is after the operand, that is post increment. Use the value, then change. So this is the case when you have to use the value, means when there is an assignment, then it is valid. So the rule is same valid for the increment and decrement. There is pre-increment, pre-decrement, post-increment, post-decrement. Let us see the difference between the pre-increment and a post-increment. First, let's see. Imagine that x initial value of x is 3. Now we have an expression y equal to x plus plus. So here we are using post-increment. So the rule is something like use the value, then increment. So y would be 3, then the final value of x will be 4. Now in the second step, initial value of x is 3, y equal to plus plus x. That means increment the value, then only you can use the value. So y will be 3 plus 1, 4, and final value of x will be 4. Same rule is applicable for decrement also. X equal to initial value of x is 3, y equal to x minus minus. Rule is something like first use the value, then decrement. So y will be 3, final value of x will be 2. Another case, that is pre-decrement. 3 initial value of x is 3. So y equal to minus minus x. First change the value, then use. So first I have to change 3 to 3 minus 1. So it will be 2. Then I have to use it. That means final value of y will be 2 and final value of x will be 2. So this is the point what we need to remember. In the case of post increment, first you have to use the value, then change. In the case of pre-increment, first you have to change, then use. Same is applicable, same rule is same for decrement also. Okay, so this you have to keep remember. Assignment operators. Okay, these are the compound operators only. Assignment operators are used to assign values to variables. Example, a equal to c plus 10. So this assignment operator is used to assign the values. There are, as we discussed in the beginning, there are different compound operators, means clubbed with assignment operator, means when target variables are target variable and first operand, one of the operand means first operand are same, then we can use the shorthand or compound operators, not applicable for ternary operator. In the case of binary operators, when the target variable means the variable to which you have to store the result and the first operand both are same, in that case we can actually use the shorthand or compound operators. means an operator, then equal to symbol, plus equal to, or and equal to, or equal to, means all are compound operators. Now let us learn about unary operator. As the name says, unary operator means only one operand. Java unary operators are the types that need only one operand to perform any operation. It consists of various arithmetic, logical, and other operators that operate on a single operand. Plus, unary plus indicates positive value, unary minus negates the expression, means it shows that for negative value. Then increment, decrement, exclamation mark. This logical complement operator inverts the value of a Boolean expression or the Boolean value, means it will invert the value of true to false. Okay, this minus is actually negating in the sense you are getting the negative value of that. Here you can see some examples. A plus plus, A is 5. Okay, so here it is increment, decrement, okay, pre-increment, okay. Here you can see logical complement. Bool is initialized to true. So if I print bool, I will get output as true only. But if I print not bool, I will get the complement, means I will get false. Relational operators, or the operators which we use for comparison. Comparison or relational operators are used to compare two values. The output of this operation will be of type Boolean, means output will be either true or false. Equal to is to check the equality. Not equal to ensure that two things are not equal. Then greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Okay. So here don't get confused with the shorthand operator. Okay, means as per syntax you may see one assignment, but it is not assignment. This is greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Be clear with that. Java Boolean logical operators. You know, in Boolean logic we have different gates: AND gate, NOT gate, OR gate, like that. So for the Boolean logic we have operators in Java. Logical operators are used to determine the logic between variables or values. Produces Boolean result. So the output will be either true or false. In Java, AND, OR, these two are supporting short circuiting. I will tell what is short circuiting later. So these two operators will support short circuiting. Okay, logical AND. Expression and expression. Expression 1 and expression 2 means this has to be true and the other part has to be true. When both are true, the output will be true. That is AND. OR means expression 1 or expression 2. If either one is true, the result will be true. This is the truth table for the AND OR. Note, it is just a complement. Logical NOT. Reverse the result. Returns false if the result is true. Okay. 0 means false, means NOT will be true. True means result will be false. That is NOT gate. In that, these two will support short circuiting. What is short circuiting? See, this AND is having one particular behavior. If the first expression is false, then irrespective of the value of the second expression, you can say that 0 and anything will be 0. So there is no point in evaluating the second expression. So in Java, in the case of AND operation, when the first expression is false, it will not try to evaluate the second expression, because when the first is false, means false and anything is false only. So when the first part is false, second will not be evaluated. That is called short circuiting in AND. In the case of or operation, when the first expression is producing true or anything will be true because first part is true. So when the first part is true and it is ORing with any other expression, there is no need to evaluate the second part, because when the first part is true, your output is guaranteed to be true. So it will not evaluate the second part. So this is nothing but the short circuiting behavior. So in the case of AND, when the first expression is false, it will not evaluate the second expression in the case of AND. In the case of OR, when the first expression is true, it will not evaluate the second expression. Java bitwise operators. Bitwise operators are used to perform binary logic with the bits of an integer or long integer. So it is performing bitwise operations. Okay, here some examples are represented. It is not here the binary representation used to demonstrate or the explain the operators are not the actual Java representation. It is using 4-bit unsigned representation only for the values, but in Java it is actually 32-bit signed integers for integers, and 60 for long it is 64-bit signed value. So that representation is different, but these examples are just to convey the meaning. Okay, first let us see the AND operator. AND sets each bit to 1 if both bits are 1. 5 bitwise AND 1. It is actually performing AND operation between these two binary values. So the result will be 1. Means this is just to explain the functionality. The representation used here is not the correct representation. It is not matching with the Java representation. Okay. Or is actually performing bitwise OR operation. Not means it is just inverting. Not 5 implies 5 is nothing but 0 1 0 1. When you perform not, it will be 1 0 1 0. That is not. Okay. Then shift, left shift, right shift, then unsigned right shift with 0 fill. Okay, let us see the example. You are shifting 9 with one position. 9 is 1 0 0 1. So when you shift, you will get 0 0 1 0. In the case of right shift, you are shifting 9 for one position. So you will get 1 1 0 0. This is unsigned shift. For that we have a better example. Okay. In Java, till now you learned the same operators what you learned in C with some cosmetic difference in the case of that modulus operation and all. But there is a newly added operator in Java, that is right shift with 0 fill. These three greater than these three angle brackets. That is the right shift with 0 fill or unsigned right shift. That is a newly introduced operator in Java. Let us see an example. Int a equal to 3. So in Java, this a means in the representation of a in Java will be like value is 3. So there is final 2 bit 1 1. So it will be like this. When you right shift this value 2 times, you will get these two things will be shifted. So you will get 0. Means you are shifting a 3 times. Means 2 times. A right shift 2. Now let us consider another example, that is positive b. Variable b is storing -4. So in Java we are using 2's complement representation for negative numbers. So the -4 will be represented something like this only. Means first bit is the sign bit, then all the things, last 2 bits will be 0 0. This is your -4. When you use unsigned right shift, it will not preserve the sign bit. It is unsigned, so it will shift these two also. So these two positions will be 0, other two zeros will be out. So in effect, when you shift a negative number, you are going to get a very large positive number, because here now sign bit is positive 0. So that is the difference. In the case of right shift, it will not preserve the sign bit. So in the other case, when you shift a negative number, you will get negative number only. But in the case of unsigned shift, when you shift a negative number towards right, you can get a very large positive number. Now here you have some example for left shift. This is your 3. A is 3. So you are shifting it 2 times. Sign bit will not be changed. So 2 zeros will come here. These two will be shifted in for 2 place. So you are getting 1100. So when you shift 2 positions. And in the case of B is negative 4. So same 2 complement representation. You are shifting it for 2 position. So sign bit will not be changed. Sign bit will remain okay like that only. So you are shifting 2 positions. So here you will see for again on left shift. Anyway, there is no change to the sign bit. You are getting minus 16. And in the case of right shift, you are shifting 3 2 times. So these two ones will be shifted out. So you will get complete 0. And you are shifting minus 4. Minus 4 2 times. Okay. Shifted means the last in the last position sign bit will be repeating. So you will continue to get the negative value. When you shift the minus 4 2 times, you are getting minus 1. So note that this right shift with zero fill, or in the case of earlier thing, it was not zero fill, it was filling with the sign bit. Okay, so right shift with zero fill or unsigned right shift is a newly introduced operator in Java. Now ternary operator. In Java also we have one operator which can process on 3 operands. As the name ternary suggests, it is the only operator in Java consisting of 3 operands. The ternary operator can be thought of as a simplified version of if-else statement with a value to be returned. That syntax is something like your variable equal to, first you will check a condition, condition question mark block 1 colon block 2. If condition is true, then block 1 will be assigned to the variable. If condition is false, block 2 will be assigned to variable. Here we have an example, age equal to 10. So in my string, I am storing a string result equal to first condition, age greater than 10. Not 10, greater than 18, question mark. Yes, you can vote. Colon, no, you cannot vote. In our case, age equal to 10. So 10 greater than, so this condition is false. So if condition is true, I will store result to the first part. If condition is false, second part will be stored here. So in this case, result will be, this string result will be, no, you cannot vote. So that is the execution of conditional operator. So using this, you can model complicated logics also. See here, finding largest of 3 numbers is implemented in a single line using conditional operator. Result equal to a greater than b. First I am checking whether a greater than b, question mark. If a is greater, then I have to check a with c. Okay, so this is first part, this is second part. If a greater than c, if it is true, then I have to see whether which one is greater, a or c. In that way, means in the block itself you can again use the, see here, condition block 1 colon block 2. Within block 1 I have again used conditional operator. That is allowed, no issue. Okay, this conditional operator, this ternary operator or the conditional operator is something which you have already learned. Now again we are learning a new operator, that is type comparison operator. That was not there in C. Obviously C was not supporting any concept of object and classes, so that was not needed in the case of C. In Java, the instance of keyword is a binary operator. Result will be Boolean. Result will be either true or false. And note that this is an operator, but it is a keyword. It is not using any symbol like plus minus or anything. It is using a keyword, and this keyword is nothing but an operator. It's a binary operator. It is used to check whether an object is an instance of a particular class or not. This operator also checks whether an object is an instance of a class that implements an interface. So the syntax is something like, this is the object which you want to check. Object instance of class or object instance of interface. If you want to check whether this particular object has implemented one particular interface name, in that case, object instance of interface name. If it is true, you can tell that okay, this particular object has implemented this interface. Or if you want to see whether this particular object is inherited or it's a type of means that type family. So object instance of class name, or it can be superclass name, like that. So let us see one example. Class animal, nothing is there, but that's an empty class. Now I am deriving a class dog extends animal. So I created a class dog from base class animal. Now in my main class, I am creating one object d1 equal to new dog. Derived class object is created. Now I am checking d1 instance of dog. It is true because d1 is an instance of class dog. Now I am checking d1 instance of animal. You will get true because d1 is actually derived from class animal. It is the instance of class dog, but that is again inherited from animal. So d1 instance of animal will also give you true. So this is a new operator introduced in Java. In Java, in every program you will see expression, statements, blocks. So let us try to understand what is expression. An expression is a construct made up of variables, operators, literals, and method invocations, constructed according to the syntax of the language, that evaluate to a single value. That is the key point. That will be evaluated to a single value. When you process that expression, the resulting value will be a single value. Example, int result equal to 1 plus 2. Okay, here this 1 plus 2 is an example for an expression because that will be evaluated to 3. So when you evaluate 1 plus 2, you are getting 3. So that is one expression. It need not be a complete statement. A statement means the one which is ending with a semicolon. Now compound expressions are created from various smaller expressions. Let us see another example. A equal to x plus y division 100. This is somewhat ambiguous. Okay, means it can be complex or simple. Next part is statement. Statements are roughly equivalent to sentence in natural language. Means a statement form a complete unit of execution. Semicolon indicates the boundary. Means this is example for a statement. It is ending with a semicolon. A semicolon is need to indicate the end of a statement. That is to mark the boundary of a statement. Expression. Okay, there are three types of statements. Expression statement means bicycle, my bike equal to new bicycle. Declaration statement. Okay, a declaration statement declares a variable. Double, okay, variable equal to. This is declaration statement. Then control flow statement. Control flow statements regulate the order in which the statements are executed. So there are different types of statements. Declaration statement, expression statement. See, a equal to x plus y semicolon. That is an example for expression statement. Declaration statement, control flow statement. So statement is something similar to a sentence and that ends with a semicolon. Means in a statement you will have one or more expressions. Now block. A block will have one or more statements. A block is a group of zero or more statements between balanced braces and can contain and can be used anywhere in a single statement is allowed. Okay, here this is one block. If one expression is there, this is evaluated to one value. This is expression. This okay, this is nothing but a control statement. This f1. Okay, if this particular thing is a control statement, this is an expression. Within the braces, you are giving a group of statements. This is nothing but a block. Expression evaluation in Java. When your Java program executes and encounters a line with an expression, the expression is evaluated, that means its value is computed. The expression 3 star 4 is evaluated to obtain 12 because 3 into 4 is 12. Okay, see in the print statement, I am giving 3 star 4. It is not going to print 3 star 4. It will print the evaluated result of this expression. That means it will print 12. Let us evaluate some expression. A equal to 10 plus 5. It's very clear, 15. Now, C equal to 10 star 2 minus 3. What is the result? Should I mean A star 2 minus 3? Is it 20 minus 3 or 10 means 10 star minus 1? Means, okay, there should be some more rules to clearly tell how it has to evaluate it. Now, just see another case. 2 star x minus 3 star y. How to evaluate this? 2x minus 3y or 2 into x minus 3y. Which one is the correct? Another case. A divided by b star c. Is it A divided by b star c or A divided by b star c? Which one is correct? To answer these questions satisfactorily, one has to understand the priority or the order in which these operators are evaluated. So we need to understand that. Operator precedence. Operator precedence determines the order in which the operators in an expression are evaluated. Precedence order. When two operators share an operand, the operator with higher precedence goes first. For example, 1 plus 2 star 3. So when you perform this operation, multiplication star is having higher precedence or higher priority than addition. So it will be treated as 1 plus 2 star 3. So 2 star 3 will be evaluated first, then addition will happen. Whereas 1 star 2 plus 3 will be evaluated as 1 star 2 plus 3. In this case, the reason is that multiplication is having higher precedence. So precedence order will help you to resolve the ambiguity when the operators have different priority levels. Consider a case where all the operators have same priority. In that case, precedence order will not help you to resolve the ambiguity in the expression evaluation. In that case, you have to rely on associativity. When an expression has two operators with the same precedence, the expression is evaluated according to its associativity. Consider an example: x equal to y equal to z equal to 17. So assignment operator is used, and in this expression there are multiple operators, means that all are assignment operator with same precedence. So how to resolve this? In this case, we will look for the associativity of this assignment operator. For assignment operator, its associativity is from right to left. That means you have to start the evaluation from right, then to left. So first I have to evaluate the rightmost part. Z equal to 17 I will evaluate first. Then y equal to this result. That means again after that I have to evaluate x equal to. So in this case, this evaluation is process based on the associativity rule of the assignment operator. Let us consider another case: 72 divided by 2 divided by 3. How to evaluate this? In this case also, operator is we have multiple operator with same precedence. So precedence order will not help us. I have to look for the associativity of the division operator. For division operator, associativity is from left to right. So I have to start evaluating from left. So 72 divided by 2 will be evaluated first. Then that result divided by 3. So this is how we have to evaluate. There are some operators that are not associative. So don't assume that all operators are associative. There are some operators which are not associative. For example, x less than or equal to y less than or equal to z, or x plus plus minus minus. These are invalid because these operators are not associative. Associativity is not there. Order of evaluation of sub-expression. Associativity and precedence determine in which order Java applies operators to expressions. In an expression, in which order I have to apply the operators. That is determined by associativity and precedence. But they do not determine in which order sub-expressions are evaluated. Sub-expression evaluation order is not based on the associativity and precedence. In Java, sub-expressions are evaluated from left to right when there is HOs. Okay. Sub-expression means an expression enclosed in another bracket. Okay. So, for example, in the expression A plus B star C in bracket, another sub-expression is coming. D, E. The sub-expressions are evaluated in the order A, B. Before evaluating C, I need to evaluate D and E. D and E, C. It is considered poor style to write code that relies upon this behavior. So whenever you write your program, don't rely on the precedence or associative rules for the evaluation. Use proper braces, means use brackets appropriately, parentheses appropriately to signify, means convey the evaluation order. That is the better or recommended programming practice. Short circuiting. Okay, this we have already mentioned. When using conditional and or operator, that means ampersand or this one, or operator or and operator, Java does not evaluate the second operand unless it is necessary to resolve the result. Okay, consider this case. S not equal to null and s dot length. Just imagine my string is null. In that case, okay, this will produce false. Then again, I will try to evaluate null dot something. That will create exception. But in Java, that will not happen because there is something called short circuiting is already there for and or. So when the first expression is evaluated to false, this and will not evaluate the second part, because irrespective of the result of the second part, your result will be false. In the same way, for or also, when the first part is evaluated to true, it will not try to evaluate the second part because that is not needed. So that is called short circuiting. Programmers rarely use short circuiting versions, that is and or with Boolean expression. Means and or the means this ampersand is short circuiting version. Means otherwise you can go for the single ampersand, that is non-short circuiting version. In that case, both parts will be evaluated. So make sure that the expressions on left side and right side are of the operator and are Boolean. Okay. So this is precedence table. This table represents the priority of the priority or the precedence of all the operators, all the separators in Java. So means if you see these shift, okay, compound operators have the least compound assignment and compound operators have the least precedence, then conditional, and so on. It is proceeding like this, level 13, and the parenthesis, dot operator, and array boundary marking, that square bracket, these are having the highest precedence. So the precedence is actually increasing from level to 16, and corresponding associativity is also given. Okay, for this parenthesis, associativity is from left to right. Okay, for increment decrement, they are not associative. And there are some more things. See, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, these things are not associative. And so when the operands have the same precedence, we have to look for the associativity. Otherwise, execution order is governed by the precedence. Let us see one example. Operator precedence, one class is there. In that, okay, in main function, x equal to 5, y equal to 10, plus x star y minus minus. So when I Okay, what would be the result of Z? Z will be plus plus y, x is 5. First increment, then use. So it will become 6 star y minus minus. Y is 10. 10 minus minus. So use, then update. So my multiplication will be 6 into 10. That value will be stored to Z. After that, y value will change. That is why in result you are getting Z equal to 60. Okay, now you can see, okay, these two evaluations you can see, and some more things you see here. See, here we have system.out.println. Okay, 1 plus 2 equal to, then 1 plus 2. What is the expected result? It is resulting in 1 plus 2 equal to 12. Okay, consider the second print. Here, same thing, this 1 plus 2 is given within parenthesis. When you give within parenthesis, it will be treated as an expression. So this expression will be evaluated. 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 3. So 1 plus 2 equal to 3. You are getting that print. But here what happened? Here there is no such parenthesis given. So string plus another thing. Plus operator is actually converting this thing to a string, and it is acting like string concatenation. So it is left to write evaluation. So string, here string concatenation happened, then again to that string concatenation happened. That is why the resulting string will be 1 plus 2 equal to 1 2. That's how the result we are getting. So that's all about the operators in Java. Thank you for watching.